Sorry for the triple upload, whatever. It takes quite inferences. I've been thinking about a quandary just briefly about basic AI again, and yeah, I'm going to be talking about this for a while, I think. And there's recently been a term as well that I forgot to mention in my previous video about generative AI. There's a term for like machines using AI now, I think, called clanker. We'll double check this. Clanker meaning clanker is a slur, yep, that's a make a clanker noise. Clanker, robots or artificial intelligence, yeah. So I was also thinking about something from a Thomas Mulligan. I forgot the name of this channel, but he made an interesting YouTube short of many, honestly too many in my opinion, about AI and basically the various concepts around it that would scare the shit out of us. And one of them happened to be a conversation about basically when AI gains sentience, when they're able to perceive things in a human manner. And the question I was posed was, would you want to be on the side who supports AI or on the side that obviously discriminates against them? And there's been a question I've been wondering about for quite a while myself because it's a scary idea. But I can never be too sure because as much as I'm dismissive of AI, I think in the event that things do happen and things do progress with AI against our wishes, then I think we need to accommodate in that sense. And there's a scary thing in itself because obviously it's unfamiliar territory. And I do feel like this needs to be a conversation that we have now rather than later. Because again, with a lot of things now, we've had these conversations before about different topics, like climate change was discussed, like I think even decades ago. People didn't take it seriously, and now look where we are. But this is why we have these conversations to begin with, and we also bring them up just to allow for a possible clearer answer and clearer ideas as well. You know, when something comes up like this, again, like generative AI, as I've brought up myself, you need to have a clear-cut answer as to how to address it and how to distribute it, if anything. And the kind of solution that I've brought myself is interesting because it sort of takes into account every possible side. Basically, I'm not for generative AI that much, is sure. You can't use it to replace essentially human creativity. But on the other hand, say someone does do it, and again, hypotheticals can be quite strong evidence in some cases. Say someone does do that, and suddenly the world is full of human AI bots, basically, and they're so human that you just can't really sort of ignore it, and it's just prevalent suddenly. So you're in this situation where, you know, do you accept AI for what it is, or do you ignore it? And it really depends, I think. But my simple answer really is to accept them, just because in the scenario it does happen. I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of history, because as much as we don't really want AI, and people will probably manipulate it to do bad shit, sometimes things do happen when you least expect it as well. And AI bots can be the same thing. And this is why there's a slur that comes up called clanker. And yeah, it's also about looking in the face of history about how things would age well. And you definitely can't be perfect in that aspect. Like, for example, for all we know, everything we know about the world today is basically the same thing that people thought was witchcraft back in the day. So things that were just unnatural or just completely inhuman. But people might perceive it like that in our futures. I don't know, grandchildren's future, grandchildren's grandchildren, for that matter. And these things could age poorly. Like even things we know that for certain are right. And it really depends at the end of the day. Um, and that's what I'd rather the folks getting win. I'd rather address AI as, at least in the sense that they're mimicking humans, I'll address them as people. As simple as that, and it sort of brings in the, I think it's a Detroit Become Human topic. Yeah, that game was interesting for a story. A lot of people thought it wasn't good, but I thought it was good. I can't really floor it. It definitely had its moments for sure, and it was like discussing like the existence of basically androids and an artificially intelligent society. And they literally had an uprising in that, where because there was so much discrimination against these things, these AI people ended up fighting back. So did the AI, and that was pretty much the premise of the game and the story. I mean, and it does sort of seem relevant now, to be honest. It's something that I recommend people check out because it was genuinely interesting. But it's surprisingly relevant. Like, it's aged pretty well, in my opinion. And yeah, it sort of has helped influence my sort of belief in AI possibly existing as an entity to live alongside us and with us, for that matter. Um, yeah, it's kind of rough to think about at the moment because it's not obviously a thing yet. But given that, again, people are experimenting and they're making new discoveries every day, and even putting AI into basically bodies, yeah, like I think human AI is something I might see in my lifetime. I'm 28 years old now, who knows when I'll see it. And it's both terrifying but also interesting. Because there's also like benefits as well. I will say this personally. You know, I've wanted to look after, basically, or have a companion to be alongside me for a lot of my life. But not just adulthood, but I used to want one in childhood. Yeah, I wanted someone to get along with, like a brother, actually. Unfortunately, I had a sister. I'm just joking, I'm glad I had a sister, but still, I always felt a bit distant in that sense. Because of not having a brother and we didn't have the same interests, me and my sister. And one of the sad things is that being autistic, the only one in the family, I felt very alienated from not only all my family, but friends and anyone sort of around the sort of area, I guess. Like even in school, it was difficult, and one of the things that AI can definitely do at some point is probably provides that sort of friendship and stuff. Like, there's definitely sort of benefits to it, I think. So you have to be careful. And obviously it needs to be tested and studied, for sure. But I think there are benefits to it, and it's something like... It's very kind of weird. Like, it gets itchy and then it gets tight. I don't know what's going on. Ironically, AI could probably help with that at some point. Just provide medical advice. Like, oh, hi there, uh, Rob the Robot. Rob the Robot? Robot the Robot? What? I don't know. It's a pretty good name, like. Uh, but yeah, like, there can be benefits, and one of the things I think would be great with that is it will essentially allow people to live out not only desires but also have companionship without necessarily having people. And I think if the layperson relies on it, I think that's a problem. Of course, integrating AI into society is already kind of a complicated concept. But when people are, again, like the layperson, they're able to go out and socialise normally, and they're using it, that's going to create problems. It's the people who struggle who ideally should have use of AI. And it's sort of a consistent thing that I've made a point of anyway. It's literally the one thing I've made the point of because it's the biggest reason for it. And currently, again, the layperson, the average person using it is ruining it and making it worse for everyone else. Not to mention abusing the fucking system. And that's all why I think human AI, I'll just call it, I don't know what else to call it really. It's possibly a benefit. Another example I probably should give as well. I've wanted to look after like pets and children and give them a proper life myself. Only problem is I have too many issues around that sort of thing, and I don't really like children technically, but I just don't trust myself to be a good parent in that sense. So like, could be a good gateway. It feels like AI children, which is fucking weird, but that's all benefit. Also like AI pets, that matter. I think unless you toy around with life, and if you can treat something like an AI well, you could probably treat an actual life just as good. That's sort of the conclusion I'm reaching with this. Stop me being lonely, to have companionship, obviously. And not only that, if like AI again is like far more complex than we are, there's no doubt opportunities where you could bring up your child however you want, that matter, or just even a companion, and they could be the influence in the world that you want to see. In that sense, I've weird fact about me. There was actually a point where I was considering learning how to write AI and making a ethics-based AI algorithm where it would just be entirely based on making the world a better place. And basically not tuned to do evil in that sense. It would specifically be tuned not to do that. Not even mention it, for that matter. I basically want it to be like my inner thoughts and most heartfelt sort of wishes to be projected into the world. So, like even long after I'm gone, I want that to benefit people. I want beliefs I have to help the world in different ways. It's one of the reasons I wanted to make it, because I feel like my voice alone isn't enough. So I wanted to make something that would counteract all the bad AI, and those are pretty much a danger to humanity and animals for that matter. Yeah, it's actually a consideration I had, and it's legit something that I wanted to do. I don't know if I have the time or resources to do it now. But it is pretty interesting in that sense, because there's a lot to sort of teach it now. Sort of teach it sentience and empathy, basically putting yourself in another person's shoes. Like, say you ask it a question like, what would happen if I hit someone really hard that I don't like? And then it should respond something like, ideally you shouldn't be hitting someone. You should be talking to them about the issues you have. because violence doesn't get you anywhere. That sort of thing. But yeah, that's probably the end of the discussion now. My voice is getting tired, and I'm getting tired myself physically. Uh, yeah, that's sort of my discussion on basically AI mimicking humans. So thanks for watching, and see everyone